Today at the Boot Guy, we are looking at the MOAB 2 Vent Mid by Merrill Work. Now, I got to see first generation before they even went into production of the Merrill Work line. And I got to tell you, at that viewing, I wasn't impressed. All I saw was Merrill with comp toes added to it. Now, the salesman at the time, he didn't really break down all the finer points about the shoes because he was just out trying to get the shoes in stores. So even though I was privileged to see in that first bit before they hit production, and I wasn't impressed, now that I got to hold a pair with about almost 2 years, almost 3 years, I believe, something like that, under their belt of producing work shoes, I gotta say, I am impressed today. It's no longer just a cheap outdoor, semi-hiking, semi-casual, really something that your dad would wear type shoe that most Merrells are. They have really carved away a section that is their own in the work shoe market. Now the MOAB 2 Vent, well, it's got a lot of crap going on. It's got a lot of things that are happening under the surface that you don't see, but you do feel if you're coming from something that's like this, that's of lesser quality. Now, mainly it's the Merrill Sole. Now, Merrill Sole patterns are Merrill Sole patterns. You don't confuse Merrill patterns with anything else. Now, when you see something that looks like a Merrill Sole pattern and it's not a Merrill, it kind of blows your mind. You know that they're copying Merrill. But Merrill has these characteristics, these little oval things, the way all these other little shapes work, these are specific to Merrill shoes, whether it's Jungle Mocks, whether it's MOAB ventilators, or whether it's their hiking boots. All of that is incorporated into the work line. So the way they build their soles is no great secret. It's a harder skin on top of a soft, buttery soft, cushiony soft midsole. Something that's going to absorb a lot of shock if you're jumping around in these. Say you're a builder, say you're a contractor, an installer, jumping off ladders, jumping out of the backs of the trucks. Something like this with a midsole like this is excellent for you guys because it absorbs all that shock from the long days. Now, there's a few things that I hate about these shoes, and I still hate these facts that companies are still doing this, but we're going to get to that at the end. I really want to point out the things that I love. One, waterproof membrane barrier built in. I love that. I love the fact that they're putting in a membrane and they're keeping the price low. That really means that you're going to get something you can depend on and you're not going to break the bank when it comes to waterproof boots. The comp toe that they're using, the way they shape it, the way it fits and feels when your foot's inside, you don't realize it's a comp toe. I love that part. The part that I truly do love that I wish a lot of companies would start doing is they incorporate a toe plate that's down inside here. It's a plastic plate. It's not a puncture proof plate, but it is puncture resistant. The reason I love that is because of the way most of us walk when you come from wearing hikers. When you're a hiker type guy, you are strictly a toe to heel walker. You're not dragging your heels, you're not dragging your feet. So when you walk like that, the first place that comes in contact with something sharp is your toes, and putting that plate in there is just an awesome idea. I mean, anything to add more safety to a safety shoe just makes them awesome. Now, the other thing I really like about it is the fit. Merrell's always fit really well. Though you have to find your size in the fit, these work shoes are no different than the street shoes. They are pretty much apples for apples. So if you're wearing an 11 in a MOAB ventilator now low cut summer shoe, you can move right into an 11 work shoe from them. And there's really going to be no difference because they've incorporated the spacing for the safety toe. They've incorporated a tighter heel cup. They've incorporated where your arch should land. They understand what it takes to build a boot. I mean, they've had a lot of experience in building outdoor shoes, approach shoes, and stuff like that. So when they move into safety shoes and they move into work shoes, it's really not that hard for them to build it correctly the first time. Now, when you look deep inside there and you pull out the insole, this is what you find. And this isn't bad. This isn't I mean, I'm always talking about insoles. This isn't the worst insole. We've seen this type of insole before where you get the nice hard arch, the nice hard heel with the soft center in the heel. We've seen this in many brands, mainly outdoor brands build insoles like this, sock liners, whatever you want to call them. But the nice thing about Merrell is with every pair that you buy, you email them with a special coupon code and they send you a fresh pair of these. Now I like that. I like that because this is going to be an almost impossible thing to replace over the counter if they're not available for sale. So them sending you out a second pair is going to throw another 2 months into a pair of shoes like this right off the bat. Now size and fit, like I said, if you've worn Merrells before, they fit great. But actually what it boils down to is you have to understand your foot for this type of shoe. This isn't like fitting a work boot, a heavy duty industrial type work boot, thick work boots, stuff like that. This is a hiker and this should be fit just like a hiker. So when you go to try these on, make sure you bring extra socks, as always, as you should when you're trying on new boots. But this one specifically, make sure you bring a lightweight sock because you're probably going to wear these in the warmer months. So you don't want your heavy duty winter socks unless you can pull off a non-insulated waterproof boot like this in the wintertime. Go for it. But if you can use this as your summertime, springtime, fall boot, lighter socks to do the fitting. So now about the things that I hate. And the things I hate about this shoe are still superficial. They don't really impede anything on the boot. These are just things that I wish they would figure out how to fix it or make it better, or just how to get away from using the materials they're using. Now, there's a lot of pieces sewn into this upper. For my taste, too many pieces. There's too much going on. There's too many parts. There's too many stitches through different materials, and that just leaves things that are going to fail. Though I love this rubberized toe, this rubberized toe is over 4 other layers of material. So at some point you're going to catch that edge and some stitches are going to have to fail. I don't like that. Now that could be a year and a half, that could be 2 years. You could have thrown these out or given these to somebody else and then they'll fail. But I don't like that many layers. The other thing that I really hate, and I hate when companies do this, I hate when they use polypropylene for the laces. Now, I understand tensile strength on polypropylene. It's a very, very strong material. I understand that. Tensile strength, though, is on a straight stretch. When you start bending it and you start twisting it and you start adding friction to the polypropylene just from the laces moving around daily, eventually they fail. They fail on every single brand of shoes that decides to add this visual aesthetic to make them look a little bit nicer. This is one place that we really should have eyelets. If we're building industrial construction type shoes, we don't want to create any weak spots for the guys, because when they're in the field and they're working, the last thing they want is to have a lace break or an eyelid break, especially if they're doing a job away from home. Now they got to replace their shoes or they got to figure out a way to tie their shoes. So I don't like that. I really don't. So that's the Merrill Work MOAB 2 Vent with a comp toe. If you're currently wearing anything from Merrill Work, guess what? I want you to comment below. I want you to tell us what you think. Which generation of Merrill Work are you wearing? Are you happy? Are you replacing them with the same thing? Please comment below. Hey, if you're interested in seeing some detailed photos of the overall shoe and the places that I don't like, just all these pieces put together, that polypropylene that they use for the laces, and just everything else that's going on. If you want to see some detailed photos, swing by to bootguy.com. I will have a full blog posting all about this Merrell. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. It really helps out. Remember, if you're on Instagram or Twitter, follow me there. Instagram all week long, I'm taking beautiful, interesting photos of boots like this. I'm sticking it out there so that we can have a conversation about these boots. Hey, if you're about to pick up a pair of these Merrell Works and you just got a few questions about size, fit, materials, whether or not it's right for your job, feel free to shoot me over an email. All right, till the next time, I'm the Boot Guy. Thanks a lot for watching.